Hey there, luxies. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Mary and this is my vlog channel where we focus on building a life that feels so much better than it looks. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, definitely join us. I'm just gonna jump right into today's topic. We're gonna be talking about how to build self-esteem. We are entering the very last month of the year very soon here, and I know that this is the time of the year that a lot of people are working on their glow up, the vision boards, the weight loss goals, relationship goals, all of the things, right? And so I wanted to talk about self-esteem because I recognize that this is something that plays a major role in any of those things that you like to do. And if you're one of those people that feels like self-esteem is just one of those things that you're either born with or that you don't have, then this video is going to be a treat for you, because let me just tell you, while some of us are fortunate enough to have such a high self-image, it is something that you can gain and lose over and over throughout your entire lifetime. So take, for example, even if you had a childhood that supported a high self-esteem, it's something that you can lose in your adulthood when you start to experience challenges and you don't know how to navigate them. So let's just jump into it. Number one, I think it all begins with asking yourself who you want to be. Right? So remove all of the outside chatter, remove all of the influences, remove what your husband thinks, your kids think, your friends think, your mom thinks, right? Ask yourself, if none of these influences existed, who would I really want to be in this life? Notice I didn't say, what would I want to do? How much would I want to make? Right? I'm simply asking you to ask yourself who you want to be, like as a person, right? What does she show up as? If you're a visual person, you can do a vision board. If you are more verbal, you want to write it down, right? But just get very clear on who it is that you want to be. Once you've done that, then you want to start taking steps to showing up as that person. This is not the typical Delulu is the Salulu, fake it until you make it type of thing. I'm not asking you to go bankrupt trying to look rich. Right? I'm simply saying, in your own ways, in the ways that you can already start to show up as her, even if it's just in how you carry yourself, right? So maybe you don't have the expensive clothes or the high rise or the whatever it is that you want, that you feel like this person would have. Maybe you're not there yet, but how does she carry herself? What are her daily habits, right? What is she listening to? Who is she surrounded with? Start influencing yourself to make those moves. And slowly but surely, you'll start to see the results. So the success doesn't come because you had the thing. The thing comes because you were successful at being her first. I hope that made sense. I didn't mean to confuse you, but I hope it made sense. Number three is very important. You want to keep your promises to yourself, right? I always say that it does not matter who you disappoint. It does not matter what is going on outside of your internal dialogue. Your self-covenant is always going to be the most important thing that determines how high your self-esteem is, right? If you create a habit of telling yourself you're going to do something and then you're disappointing yourself and you're betraying those promises, eventually you will start to believe that you are just that person who doesn't keep her own promises. You will start to believe that you're just not capable of doing better, right? So if you promise yourself you're gonna go to the gym, do that. Even if it's 3 times a week and not 5 or 7 like some people, right? Start small. Don't try to overdo it all at once, right? Start with the small things that you can believe for right now. And from 1 time a week, it'll go to 3 times a week. Once you've done 3 times, then you can believe that you can do it for 5 times, right? So whatever it is, maybe it's saving money, right? Maybe you want to learn to put money aside. If you start with $10 and then it goes to 100 and it goes to 1,000, but you've got to see the little bits first before you can see the large. If you're a big dreamer and you know that you can accomplish a little bit more, then yes, set it according to whatever your mental thermostat is. I'm just saying that it doesn't always have to be something that's grandiose in the very beginning. Number 4, read books that encourage your journey, right? I'm going to put some examples of books that I've read that I feel like have really changed the game for me as far as glowing up and becoming the woman of my dreams. One of the things I like to start doing on this channel is reviewing books that actually have helped me on my journey to becoming the woman that I am. So I've done book reviews in general about just different books that I've been interested in, but I think I want to be more focused now on books that I feel like help you with the level up journey. So I will list some of those down below. Feel free to get you some. But yes, you know what they say, if you want to hide a secret from the world, put it in a book, right? There's so many gems, there's so many things that you're missing out on by not reading. And even if you're not a regular like physical book person, or you don't even want to do the ebook, but you like to listen, audiobooks are great, right? The links I leave down below will have the actual book, but you can always click on audio and listen that way. In a time where social media has us consuming information at the speed of lightning, I think it's important that you're also combating it with good things for your mind, right? So as you're taking in all of the entertainment or whatever you want to call it, make sure you're also feeding your mind. It's important because that's what gives you that balance. I'm not asking you not to have downtime. I have caught myself doom scrolling sometimes in my life, but you always have to be combating it. You have to be feeding your mind with things that are going to help you and help your self-esteem. Okay, this one's important. Find your style and choose the luxury version of it. So a lot of these glow up tips I found say, oh, you have to dress like this. You got to do it with pajamas. Don't wear t-shirts. Don't wear this. Don't wear that. There's so many restrictions, and it's what keeps a lot of people from gaining that self-esteem. Because even if you go out and throw away your entire closet and you start dressing in the way that you're told to dress, but it doesn't match your self-image, you don't look confident, babe. You don't come off. It doesn't help your esteem in any way because you feel fraudulent. You feel like you're showing up as someone else, right? Just to fit in. And at this big age, we don't need to do that, right? Whatever it is your style is, you can always make it luxurious. For example, lately I realized I've become more of a baggy t-shirt, loose, like comfy, chic thing. And what I always end up doing is adding in some jewelry, like you just popping, see? Just a little bit goes a long way. You don't have to do too much, okay? Find whatever it is your version of luxury is. Maybe for you, it's heels. Maybe t-shirt and heels is what does it for you. Like, I don't know. I'm not telling you how to live. I'm simply saying that no matter what your style is, you can always make it into a way that it feels like you're putting in effort. Because what that communicates to you and your self-esteem is, I am worth it. I am worth the effort, and I don't have to treat myself like a sloppy piece of meat. Does that make sense? It helps, I'm telling you. It's really true what they say that when you feel good, you look good, but looking good doesn't have to have one specific image. We don't all need to look the exact same way. Let's just end that whole narrative. Okay, number 6, travel, right? If you can afford to travel. And nowadays, travel is available for so many of us, right? Because of the low fares that now exist, maybe you won't be traveling in luxury, right, in the very beginning, but seeing the world, right? Even if it's not internationally, leaving your town, leaving your state, going to see how people exist in other places outside of the bubble that you were born in does something for your self-esteem. Take, for example, you grew up as the token black girl in a suburban, predominantly white state or city, right? And then you find yourself in a city or a country where black is beautiful, where you're not a minority, where people are uplifting you, where you're getting compliments left and right? I'm not saying that your self-esteem only relies on external feedback, but we can't pretend that that doesn't make a difference, right? You'll start to see yourself as someone that is desired, as someone that is yearned for, right? And that does something to your self-esteem. It also encourages you to put even more effort in building yourself. So it's literally like a trickle effect, right? I definitely feel like it's one of those things that's worth it if you can afford it. And again, start small. Even if you can't leave the country, leave your little town, go for a road trip. Allow yourself to see yourself from a different lens outside of the one that you're used to. Okay, last but not least, do away with people and things that negate your self-esteem. So the friendships, the co-workers, the family members, nobody wants to say it, right? But we have people around us that do not contribute to a healthy self-esteem, right? People who are always wanting to remind you where you came from, always wanting to subtly humble you, right? And sometimes they're not actually doing that. Sometimes they're neutral, right? Sometimes you have people in your life that don't exactly make things worse, but they're just there. They're not necessarily uplifting you. I feel like those people are taking up space too, right? And the sooner you can clear your life of the people that are just taking up space and situations that are taking up space, the more you can develop the audacity to become the best version of yourself. And once you start to see yourself in that light and you're surrounded by people that only see you in that light, it will surprise you how much you glow. And you'll do it exponentially too. You'll be like, dang, this thing that I thought I've been wanting for all these years, it only took me 4 months. And people think it happened overnight. No. You've had your whole life to experience these things, right? And once the shift finally clicks, yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, it's not that we need 10, 20, 30 years to make changes, right? It's in your mind. It starts here first, right? Once your mind communicates with your heart that you want something different and you actually start taking the steps, you'll see how quickly you can level up. That's definitely something that I 100% believe in. It's one thing I advocate for. And if you're someone that is looking to go into 2025 and beyond as a more fulfilled, healed, well-loved, well taken care of woman, then give the things that I've shared a try. You know, it may work for you, it may not. You may not see the results right away, right? Be patient with yourself and be consistent. That's the most important thing. You cannot live a life of lack of congruency and expect that your self-esteem will grow, right? You can't be telling yourself one thing, doing another. You can't be making a promise to yourself and negating it with your actions. But I'm not gonna go too far. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below some things that you feel like have helped your self-esteem. Or if you have any questions about anything that I said, I'd love to hear from you as well. As always, I love you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Mwah.